Hi all, in today's class we are going to see time dimensions and role dimensions, two topics. So first we'll see a role dimensions. In role dimensions, the person called Henry Mensberg. Okay, so this person have suggested some kind of a role every manager will be playing it in while they're working in the organization, right? So whether the manager may be a marketing manager or finance manager, HR manager or a managing director or CEO or whoever designation, the top level or a middle level managers or top level managers. So these people will be playing a different role whenever they want to make it. Okay. So for any designation, some kind of a set of behavior is needed. So that set of behavior is there for that particular person. So those person will be chosen for that designation. Let me take an example of this marketing manager. So marketing manager is set of behaviors normally like he'll be very outspoken and very extrovert person, a personality, and he'll behave in such a way that he'll talk to everyone, he'll mingle with everyone, he have a good networking contact. So these kind of a behavior a person have, this person will be suited for marketing post. So marketing specialization post. So they have to play these kind of like some kind of a role which is related to their designation or a job or a task what they are doing it, right? So here this person, Mr. Henry Mintzberg, so he is like he suggested some kind of role every manager have to play it, right? So first one is interpersonal role, figurehead role, leader role, liaison role. So second one is information roles. Under that, monitor, disseminator, spokesperson. And third role is decisional role. So under that, entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. Okay. So we'll see the next slide. Interpersonal role. So when we talk about this interpersonal role, see, for any manager one skill is very important, is what? Interpersonal skill, right? It means that how far you're comfortable enough in mingling with everyone, and how far you keep your employees, your peers, your colleagues, your boss, your subordinate in a comfortable way. So they have to feel very comfortable to talk to you, to mingle with you. They have to feel happy to work with you as a team. Okay, so that kind of a skill you have to develop, the way you interpreting things, the way you communicating with people, the way you behaving with others. So the way your behavior, the way you're showing your interest with others regarding the work or regarding the job, whatever you're doing when they are joining together and doing some kind of work. So this kind of a skill is very very important. Okay, if your interperson skill is very bad and no one will like you and no one will ready to mingle with you or no one will keep you in their team. Okay, so interpersonal skill you have to develop it, you have to mingle with everyone, you should not be reserved. Always you have to talk to people, you have to create a network with everyone, not only inside the organization, even outside your company. Okay, so you basically you have to be very extrovert, and you have to expose yourself. So you have to improve your networking, and you have to talk to everyone, mingle with everyone, maintain a formal relationship with everyone inside the organization and also outside the organization. Okay, so here this interpersonal role, simple, as I already said, you have to be very comfortable with people. Okay, and also they have to feel very comfortable when they are talking to you, when they are working with you, right? So first one under interpersonal role, first one is figurehead role. This figurehead role, so these people will be representing. Okay, suppose your company is like you're a marketing manager or you're a HR manager, right? So some people are in need of you, right? So maybe they are doing some kind of an happy thing they are doing in their home. Okay, they are doing some kind of function, they are doing it in their home. Okay, you will be like encourage everyone and you have to bring them to attend that particular function. You have to play a very like you're playing a very good role that okay, I am there for you, okay, I am there for all your personal needs too, right? Even in the personal greetings, it's like even their personal greetings given by your employees, okay, if they have a marriage function or they have their any other function, okay, so those kind of functions you are going in attending, right? Why I have to, like, you will think in your mind, right, see, I am a boss, you are a subordinate, why I have to participate employees functions, employees ceremonies, what kind of a ceremony they are doing it in their home or in the public place, why I have to participate? This question will be arise in your mind, but still you want to create a rapport with your employee, you want to create that trust or relationship. These are things you have to do it, okay? As a manager, any kind of field you are, you have to play this figurehead role, like you have to represent, okay, you have to represent your company to your employees functions, to your employees ceremonies, their home ceremonies, annual ceremonies, birthday celebrations. So these kind of things, wedding and customer, you have to, like, you have to always keep connected with employees, and also you have to keep connected with the customer, because these two people are a valuable asset for the organization. And you know one thing, customer is a king for the organization. So you have to identify a very big client, and if they are giving a very big business for your company and they are giving a very big because of them the company's profit level is higher in this year, so that time you have to be keep connected with particular client always, and you have to treat them as a king, and you have to invite them for giving some kind of a lunch to them. So these kind of a thing you have to do it always. Why? See, you should not think in this way, why I have to do all those things, why I have to see, one thing, customer relationship management is very important. And for that, a separate designation called a relationship manager is there. Customer association executive is there. So there are different designations are created by the companies, especially in the service sectors. They are created it, okay, because they have to do all those things, a lot of competitions arise. How you're going to retain your valuable customers for your company is a very big question mark, right? So, and although you have to bring those customers for a longer period of time, so you have to be like, you have to keep connected with those customers, you have to keep connected with the employees who are really talented in your company, right? So they are like they are working for 5 years, and you feel that they are very much talented, and you cannot get this kind of an employee, right, in the future too. So obviously you have to do something to retain that particular employee in your organization. So you have to play compulsory a figurehead role, right? You have to give support to that particular employee. So you have to attend you have to be present of all his happiness, all his sadness too. So that particular role you have to play it, okay? Then only, like, people will be feel very comfortable, they'll be very open to you, okay? Even they have they need of any counseling because of their personal problem or personal issues, they'll come to you, okay? Then you can be like, you can keep your employees under your control is possible if you play this figurehead role in a proper way, okay? Next one, leader role. Of course, this leader role, everyone have to, all the managers have to play a role, right? So you are the responsible for the subordinates. You are the responsible for the subordinates' contribution, accountability, everything, right? So you have to keep on motivate your employees. You have to keep on encourage your employees. You have to do some kind of a formal power you have to show it to your employees. See, management is an art of getting things done. I frequently say this definition to you all, right? See, you have to be like authority oriented. You have to show the power, and you have to be accountable for their work. Okay, so you have to get the work from people either in a motivating, whether it is a positive way or in a negative way of motivation, either in the way of recognizing, either in the way of encouraging employees in, right, whatever way you want to choose, you have to choose it, and you are the responsible person for your employees work or a contribution or accountability or whatever it may be. This leadership role If you're not play it, your total team will be collapsed on the finally one fine morning your company will be collapsed. Okay, you have to be in the upper hand always. You have to go along with your employees. You have to understand their difficulties. You have to understand their strength and weakness, and you have to guide them. You have to mentor them. You have to be like be as a counselor, and you have to do all kind of such functions you have to do with employees. And all these things you are doing with an intention, like two things: the employees have to be happy, at the same time your department have to grow, at the same time your company have to grow. So this thing you keep it in your mind. This is the basic objective, you have to keep it in mind, and you have to play that leadership role. And there are a lot of leadership styles are there, you have to choose according to the situations. Some people are so autocratic. Maybe best example we can say Hitler. Okay, so you some situations and some issues, of course you have to be a very strict person, autocratic person. In some situation you have to be as a democratic person. You have to like, you have to make the people to talk, you have to make the people to give opinion, and you have to welcome everyone to involve in the issues. If that is needed, you have to play the democratic role, right? Then sometimes you have to play a free rein role, sometimes you have to play a participative role. It's like different kind of a leadership style, you have to change it instead of following a one style always. Depending upon the situation, you have to change the style, leadership style. Okay, so this leadership role, any designation you are, any field you are, or any a function, department function manager you are, you have to play this leadership role, right? And third one, liaison role. See, when we talk about this liaison role, you are making contact outside the vertical chain of command, including peers in their companies or departments, government and trade organization representative. See, you have to be as a representative for outside people, external people. Who are the people? Are external people, maybe your vendors, your suppliers. Vendors and suppliers are the same, right? Your customers, your public. Okay, all these people are your government, and the legal formalities, all those external and technical, like when we talk about this legally, when we suppose your company have to proceed legally something. Okay, you have to contact people, lawyers. You have to contact like people who are related to this court. Okay, if any so say for example your trade union members, all these people are external people. You have to be as a representative, and you have to talk to those people, and you have to handle them in a smooth way. That is very important, because your company want to run, right, for longer period. So for that, you have to be in that particular role, and you have to keep connected with those people too, right? To the customers, you have to understand what the customer preferences. You have to understand the changes of taste they are doing it. Okay, so you have to understand your competitors also are the external forces. Okay, the rivalries, competitors also external forces. So all these people, like, you have to be you have to play a public relation officer role. You have to play like a, you know, you have to play as a researcher to identify what is happening in the market. Okay, so what is happening in the market, how this particular market is understanding about your company, or aware, how whether they are awareing about your company, about your service, what your company is providing. Okay, all these things you have to understand, and keep connected with the market, and keep connected with the government, keep connected with the law, keep connected with the trade union, keep connected with the trade people. Okay, your say for example, if your company is a manufacturing company, and your belongs to a marketing a manager, you are playing a role, a designation as marketing manager. You have to keep connected with the dealers, wholesalers, retailers. Okay, so this is a role you have to do. This is what a liaison role. Okay, that too, you have to keep connected, be as a representative, and you have to be as a very smooth person to these kind of people, because these people are very important for you, for your company growth. So that you keep it in your mind. So without these people you cannot run your company. With like if they are not supporting properly, if they are a hurdle for your company, again your company cannot grow. So you have to be as a representative, you have to maintain a smooth relationship with these kind of people, right? Next one, information role. See, when we talk about this information role, the monitor, first one is like you have to monitor, you have to scan the entire environment, both internal environment and also external environment, and you have to collect the information whether your employee are happy, whether their employees quality of work life is good, whether your employees are getting salary properly, they are getting enough salary, whether they are contributing for the company good, whether they are taking any deviation, everything you have to monitor. You know, one thing is major functions of management, controlling is a very important function. In this controlling process, this monitoring is very important. So you have to monitor the entire environment, you have to scan everything, right? And second one, disseminator role. See, disseminator is kind of a general meaning of dissemination, sharing of knowledge. Okay, so what really the company want to give information to your employees, to your subordinates, that you have to be clear enough. Suppose your company is putting some kind of an objective, okay, that objective have to be clearly understand, then clearly you have to communicate or disseminate to your employees and ensure that whether employees are understanding the company objective, right? So you have to be as a very good disseminator. So you are taking the message what your management is giving, and in the same way, in the same kind of a feel, you're giving the message to your employees. Okay, they have to understand what really the management want to understand, the same way the employee have to understand. So you have to be as a paka mediator, and you have to disseminate properly, and you have to share the informations to your employees, okay, or to your directly to the subordinates. And next one, spokesperson. Like again here, sharing information with people outside the organization, with the customers, with the public, okay, with the suppliers, okay, and with the government, right, or with the law, okay, any labor law, trade union people. So to those people you have to be as a spokesperson, good spokesperson. That particular role you have to play it, okay. And next one, decision rule, right? So in the decision rule, when we talk, if you want to take a decision, immediately you have to take. Or you need some analysis, is a very important issue. You have to analyze for this. Please go ahead, analyze it, and finally come out with a solution, right? So this decision role, anyone will play, okay? Yeah, based on the power they have, based on the authority they have, okay, they have to take a decision whenever it is really needed, okay. Entrepreneur seeks to improve the unity by initiating projects. Who's an entrepreneur? Who's business? A person who's starting a business. Suppose I'm starting my business, right? So I'm starting some kind of a business, I'm investing in amount, I'm starting a business, I'm an entrepreneur, right? So it is my business, it is my amount I have invested, okay. So obviously I'll definitely, my interest, my wish will be my company or my business have to grow. That is very, very important, right? So that role obviously you have to play, right? So you have to be as an entrepreneur. See, only the people who are person who are invested, uh, only that person have to play that entrepreneur role. Not like that, right? So everyone, if you're working in the company, you're working as a HR manager, it is your company. You have to think in this way, it is my company, right? That kind of morale level or that kind of a mindset is there, definitely everyone will be accountable, okay, good accountable for the company. They'll contribute more for the company, right? It is my company. Okay, even though if I'm not invested, I'm getting only a salary, but still it is my company. If that mindset is there, you can survive in that particular company for a longer period of time, right? Then disturbance handler. See, any company, you will get, you cannot, you will get right, you cannot get 100% coordination in your team. right? 100% when the support won't come, right? So sometimes the disturbance handlers always will be there. See, you have to be as a as a what do you call it, a problem solver. Okay, see, I already told you that interpersonal skill. Another skill, decision making skill. Another skill is problem solving skill, right? See, some kind of issues will happen, a conflict will happen between people, between boss, between subordinate and superior. So this kind of things will happen always. See, at that time you should not be a problem creator. Instead of that, you have to be as a how you will be handling the people who are disturbing the system, who are disturbing the environment, who are disturbing the work, who are disturbing the job. That you have to identify, you have to handle them properly, you have to penalize them whenever it is required, right? So that is there. Then resource allocator, see, decides who gets what. Very simple. Resource allocator decides who gets what. Okay, what really needed. If it is a finance, you belongs to finance department, you are a finance manager. Okay, if purchase department want funds to be released, okay, after cross verification with the management, you will be releasing a fund. Okay, whether after checking the availability, you will be releasing the fund. See, whatever the resources really needed by the people who are working the organization, you have to be good resource, whether it is a knowledge resource, whether it is a material resource, whether it is a cash resource, whether it is a service resource. Whatever the resources you have to give to others, and also you have to allocate resources, right? Even in our home also, we'll be good resource allocator. We can say like our father and mother in our home, right? They'll be allocating the resources to all people, okay, the children's, right? See, what resources, if you're studying second standard, okay, they'll be giving a book, they'll giving a notebook, they'll giving a pencil, they'll giving a pen. Okay, allocating resources to people, because then only they'll do a work, otherwise they won't do, right? Right, you have to be as a resource allocator, you have to provide resources to people. Okay, and next one, negotiator, committing organizational resources in real time with broad information available from their information tool. Okay, see, when we talk about this negotiation role, suppose two employees are there in the department, they are fighting with each other. Okay, what are you supposed to do? Okay, you have to listen everything, identify the root cause of the problem, then you have to uh, be as a problem solver, and you have to solve that conflict. Okay, after this, after your interruption, these two people will be joined together, they have to work. That is the intention. You have to keep it in your mind, you have to take the issues in a good way, in a proper way. See, say for example, suppose your employee have some issues, so maybe that particular issues cannot solved by the management, right? So what is, because maybe like some kind of issues, some kind of needs and wants you cannot satisfy, because people will be, they'll be expecting more, and they'll be expecting very high, that cannot be that cannot be provided by the management, because of some other genuine reason will be there, but that won't be understood by the employees. What they'll do, they'll be go to the trade union. Okay, so these trade union people, they'll be come and talk to the management, because they'll be a representative for that particular employee who really needs something from the company, right? So what they'll do, these trade union, what they'll do, they'll come and sit, and they'll be asking why you are not providing this kind of example. Say for example, a bonus issues. Okay, the employees will ask, no, in the last year we get 8% bonus, this year we need a 10% bonus or a 15% bonus, but management cannot offer it, because if the company is getting a profit, they'll provide. The company's profit maximization is there, they'll be providing it. Profit is not maximized, how they'll be giving it? So that is the genuine reason, right? If but employees won't be understanding that, what they'll do, they'll go for a they'll go for a they'll be seek help from trade unions. Okay, so what they'll do, the trade union people will be coming and talking to the management, and they'll be acting as a representative. So that time you have to be as a very good negotiator between the management, or between the management and trade union. You have to be as a very good arbitrator. Okay, so that is there. So that negotiating skill is there. You have to solve the issues. Okay, so you have to be on stand on the center. Okay, you should not be talk more on trade union, you should not be talk more on management. You have to be always in the center. You have to see your perspective will be seen is common, right? Then you have to solve the issues. So you have to be as you have to play this negotiator role. Okay, so these are the things, the different roles every managers have to play it. Let me quick, we'll summarize this. Formal authority and the status under that. First one is interperson role. Under interperson role, figurehead role, leader role, liaison role. Next one, informational role. Under that, monitor, disseminator, spokesperson. Third one, decision role. So under that, entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator, right? So these are the roles a manager have to play it. Okay, so next one is time management. See, all the time we used to say, like even we used to say that like time won't come. If time goes, it won't come back, right? Today is a day, like today is 11, okay? Today is 11th June in the sense this day won't come back again, right? So today is like July, it won't come back. This 2020 11th June or 11th July, it won't come back, right? So that is very very important that you have to understand. So today is your day, so how much ever you want to work, you have to work. How much ever you want to learn, you have to learn. How much ever you want to contribute for the company, contribute for the society, contribute for the public, I'll be doing it. See, end of every day, so before end of the day, before going to sleep, we have to think or we have to remind what are the good things I have done today. What are the productive things I have done today. Okay, what are the productive things for the company I have done it? What are the productive things done for myself today? That you have to rewind before going to a sleep. Or like every day you have a habit of taking writing a diary. So that if you're writing a diary, you'll be writing everything, and once you reading it, you came to know that oh, this much time I have wasted today, right? So that guilty conscious will come, and next day you will be started using the time in a fruitful way, right? So time management, when we talk about, when you as a manager, you have to manage your time properly, and you have to be prioritize your work, and you have to complete your task on time. So that is very important. If you're not doing, suppose like you're giving your dress for stitching to the tailor, and you're asking like today you're giving and asking, say it's today is a Wednesday, I need for a Friday because Saturday I have to attend one function, so I need a dress. If you're asking and giving the dress to the tailor, if the tailor is not managing a time and tailor is not delivering at the expected time, like Friday, what do you do? Whether you will be stick on to that particular tailor, further you won't give dress for a stitching to that particular tailor, right? So that is very very important. So how many days you will be taking to complete this task, how many minutes you are taking, how many hours you are taking, that you have to be clearly defined, and accordingly you have to complete the work or task, right? So you have to manage your time properly instead of wasting your time, right? So act or a process of exercising conscious control over the amount of time spent on specific activities to increase efficiency and productivity. See, your efficiency, your effectiveness, all these things speaks when you manage your time properly, right? So there are time management principles when we talk about, like principle of brevity. Brevity is nothing but something very short. If you want to talk something very short, okay, if you're conducting a meeting, very short meeting you attend, but you tell a clarified message to your subordinates, right? So like instead of grabbing certain things, instead of like telling like what do you call sometimes we'll do what, like repeatedly we'll say the same message, or repeatedly you will be doing the same thing. So all these things are wasting time, right? So first principle is brevity in your organization. Conduct short meetings, comfortable for prolonged meetings. Okay, if it is that particular discussion is very important discussion, okay, you go ahead, you can prolong. Okay, but if it is very important, you have to complete it soon. Conduct a meeting, very short meeting, very brief descriptions or explanation you can give, right? What you have to tell it very crispy, very simple, I can say, right? That is the thing. Principle of brevity. Principle of habit, routine meeting at the end of the day. Okay. See, please have a habit of routine meeting. Normally, this marketing people, what they'll do, executives will be outside, right, outside of the company. They'll be going and meeting the clients. See, end of the day, what they'll do, they won't come back to the company. What they'll do, they'll be like through conference calls. So they'll be reporting. So today I have seen these much clients. Okay, these are the clients are going to be prospect customers, and these are the clients are going to be next month prospect customers. These are the clients are not interested to not interested to get the service from us, right? Likewise, some kind of a short meeting every day if you conduct, then it is very easy for you to monitor what you really your subordinates are doing it. So whether you can able to identify whether they're wasting your time or not, right? So principle of habit, have a meeting, a short meeting every day, end of the day, end of the working day, right? Just 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes with your employees. Delegation of authority, identify amount of work and assign it, right? The delegation is very very important, because you cannot do all the work, right? You have to assign a work to your subordinates. That is important, right? So you have to give the work to them, assign the work to them, along with the give the power to that particular person. See, in their particular role, in their limits, let them take decisions. Okay, that authority and power you have to give it to them, right? Then time estimates, set a time limit for each work or each task, right? Normally people who are like example like people who are running, okay, especially sports people, what they'll do, they'll set a time, they'll start running, then they'll be checking how many seconds or how many minutes they have taken to reach that particular destinations, or they have covered this much of kilometers. Okay, that is what you take that example, right? Set a time limit for each and every work, and also convey the time limits to your employees, right? And fifth one, principle of prioritization. See, this is very important. Which work you have to do it in the first, which work you have to do it in the next. Okay, in your day, in a daily work schedule, you have to prioritize your work. Which work is more important, urgency, it is really needed, you have to complete it immediately, you have to do that work, right? Then second, third, then fourth. Okay, that is very important, prioritizing. Then write goals, pay off debt, finishing a project on dates. So you have to write goals. You have to write a goal. Based on the goal, you have to work on it. Right? See, normally what I'll do in my room, I have some career objective in my life. I'll write it in a chart and paste it in the board. Very simple. Okay, whenever I'm seeing the chart, it's reminding myself, oh, I have to work for it, right? Write a goal and display it somewhere regularly. You are seeing that particular place, in that place you can paste that goal, and it will keep on reminding you that, oh, I have to work for it. Okay, oh, I have to develop for it. That is very very important, right? Proper implementation, smart meeting on time, reward people arrive on time rather than laggards. People who are with laggards is nothing but people who are always late, people who always depend on someone. They'll come up with a lot of excuses. Okay, they'll come up with a lot of reasons. You know one thing, uh, 99% of the failures is happening because of the unnecessary reasons. Come up with the reasons. Yeah, okay. This was the message given by our founder chairman Sri P.K. Das sir, right? So please try to like the some kind of people will be there in the department, in the working environment. Like they'll be always coming up with the reasons. Why? Because maybe they are not fit enough for that particular job, or they are not an independent person. They are always depend on someone, or they are not clear about the objective, yeah, what really they want to do it first. Because of some kind of reason, they'll always like they won't complete their task or work on time. Okay, so that is the, so as a manager, you have to reward people who are finishing the task on time. Okay, that is there, right? And start meeting on time. See, once you are scheduled a meeting, you have to start on that particular time without any deviations. Then proper planning and follow minutes of meeting. Okay, see here, this minutes of meeting, after this meeting is over, what and all discussions you did it, you have to make sure that it have to be in a written format, or it may be in a writing format, and based on this written format you have to refer and you have to go accordingly, right? And also you have to do all the follow-ups. So that is very, very important. See, before conducting a meeting, you have to prepare agenda, what you're going to talk. So what is the meeting is all about? So what discussions we are going to do, that is agenda. After the meeting is over, you have to prepare a minutes of meeting. So in that, what and all you have discussed, what are the work you have assigned to which person, everything you will be writing as a minutes, and you have to do a follow. That is very important. Effectiveness. Okay. Let subordinates suggest solutions. Sometimes you have to be as you have to play this democratic role, right? Instead of like you putting all your things in your head, and you know, if you're like you're become very stressed and you become very emotional imbalance, instead of that you delegate the work, let them take decisions, let them find out the solution. You just give the power, right? Before finding out the solution, let them come and discuss with you whether I can go ahead or not. So that thing you have to do it, right? And next one, this time management matrix. So when we talk about this matrix, see here, urgent, not urgent, not important, important. Let me talk this not important, urgent. In some of the work in our daily, in your work, when you join in the organization, when you're working in the organization, some of the work is not important, but it may be urgent. Okay, interruptions. Maybe you're in the meeting, right? So that time you're maybe from your home, someone is interrupting you or calling you because it is very urgent. Something's happened in the home. So that is okay. Some phone calls, maybe very urgent phone calls you are coming from your friend's side, your family side. Okay, some mail, immediately you have to respond it, but it is not important right now. Maybe you're maybe very big client, so that particular client have sent a mail, and that time you're doing a very important work, but immediately you're responding to the mail is not important. Maybe you can do it later, but it is urgent. Okay, some meetings, some popular activities. So this see why I'm explaining all those things. See, you have to classify yourself like very important, not important, urgent, not urgent, right? You have to like this, you have to prepare a table. Okay, you have to split it accordingly. See, urgent work, important work. In this, urgent, not important, not urgent, important, not urgent, not important. You just classify the work and go accordingly. So this will help you for you to manage your time when you're working in the organization, right? And then next we talk about urgent, important. See, crisis. Now we have this COVID-19. So that is very urgent thing. So if this is the crisis we have, so in this crisis, how you're going to run your company, how you're going to run your department, how you're going to take care of your employees, how you're going to take care of your customers, how you are going to continue your service without any breakage, without any breaking. Okay, continue service to the customers. So that is very important. That decision you have to take it. Pressing problems, you will get a lot of problems. You know one thing, see, you will always get a problem. So without a problem you cannot grow in your life. So without a trouble you cannot learn something, right? See, this pressing problems always will come. How you're going to handle it, it is important. You have to do it, right? See, customer is giving a have put a case in your have put a case that service is not good. It is a very big crisis. You have to solve it immediately. The customer have complained, have put a case like your particular product is not good, the service is not good. Okay, how you are going to handle this situation? It is very urgent, and also it is very important. If you're not minding of all these issues, what will happen? Slowly the goodwill of the company will come down. Am I right? Okay, deadline driven projects is always there. Urgent and important, you have to do it. All these are prioritizing. See, this urgent important is the first priority, right? Second one, not urgent. So here not urgent, but it is important. You have to do it, but it is not immediately you have to do it. Prevention, relationship building, right? Recreation, new opportunities. So these are the four things. It is important because all these four things, like all these four things, this prevention, like in the future, maybe here in the COVID-19 also, we are making a prevention. Okay, we are making this e-content presentation because we don't know how many days it will take to take like physical classes. I don't know when this physical class is going to be start, right? So when this college normal working day, when it will happen, we don't know, right? So that time you have to do some kind of a prevention. You have to be prepared. It is very important but not urgent, so I can do it very slowly, right? So I can prepare e-content, maybe today one e-content, tomorrow another e-content, right? So I can prepare a classes. It is important but not urgent, right? Because you have to, whatever the work you have to do it, that have to be very carefully, you have to do it. You have to complete the task in a proper pakka way, because you have to satisfy the end customers, that is there, right? Relationship building, you have to maintain relationship with the customers, that is important. But immediately you cannot make a call and ask the customer, hi sir, how are you sir, had your lunch sir. You cannot do that. Okay, so relationship building is very important but not urgent. You can do it very slowly, right? You have to wait. Suppose your client is a very big client. Okay, maybe next week your client birthday. So that time, today itself you cannot make a call, sir, next week is your birthday, no sir, so what is your plan, sir? You cannot ask of all those things. You have to maintain that relationship, but formal relationship is required, right? You have to make your client to be keep connected with you, that's all, right? So that relationship building is important but not urgent. Recreation, new opportunities. Okay, so whatever the opportunities is available, you have to be open your both ears and both eyes. You have to identify what are the opportunities for your company growth, right? If a competitor is not giving a proper service to the customers, it is an opportunity for you, right? So you can grab all these customers for your company. That is possible, right? So you have to always open your eyes, you're open your both the ears, and you have to identify the opportunity, right? So this because of this COVID-19, so many companies they are considering as an opportunity because this COVID-19. Okay, soap company, sanitizer company, this mask company, everyone is an opportunity for them, right? So they have grabbed it. It is important, right? And next one, not important, urgent. Interruptions that we have discussed, right? Not urgent and not important. Trivia, some mails, some phone calls, wasters, pleasure activities. Okay, some our mind will grow always. Deviations will be there. Okay, in a day we'll see 2 films, 3 films. We'll always keep on chatting with the WhatsApp. Always keep on chatting with the Facebook. All these things are time killers, time eaters. You have to consider, right? So all these are not urgent. All these are not important. See, even people will be listening to class at the time. Some interruption call will come. Immediately they stop listening the class. They'll go. All these things are not urgent and not important. Even when you're working in your company, that time you are in the meeting with your boss, that time your friend will call and you will be respond to your friend's message in the meeting. That is not urgent, that is not important. So you have to clear, you have to control your mind, which is important, which is urgent, which is not important, which is like not urgent. That you have to be very clear. You have to segregate accordingly and work accordingly. So that is very, very important. Some of the time wasters, internal time wasters, so I have categorized into two way: internal time wasters and external time wasters. See, internal time wasters, what they do: poor communication, written, verbal, poor, everything is poor. Okay, if they want to convey something, some message they want to communicate, they'll be take more time. Okay, so procrastination, prolonging things. They'll be postponed, keep on postponing things. See, normally even you people, what you do, some of the people will do tomorrow's exam, right? Today you're sitting, you're putting a timetable, everything, okay, but you won't stay. What do you do? Okay, we'll take rest for 2 hours, then we'll start studying. You keep on postponing, keep on postponing. Same way in the company also, managers, if they do, whether a department can run, whether a company can run, not possible. Inability to say no. right? People sometimes you have to say no if it is not possible for you. If you don't have that idea, if you don't have that skill or a knowledge or ability, you say no, it is not possible for me because really I don't know how to do it. You can say no, but people will be hesitate to say no. If I say no, whether he'll be tell something, he'll think in that way, ஐயோ இவனுக்கு எதுவுமே தெரியாதுன்னு நினச்சிக்கிட்டாங்களோ, likewise people will think inability to say no, poor prioritizing. Okay, see normally what you'll do, which is more important, that work you won't do. Okay, instead of that, which is not urgent, we'll do that work, right? Inadequate planning. Okay, without planning you're doing your work. Failure to delegate. People will be sometimes autonomous. Okay, I have to do everything, autonomy, I have to do everything, no, I won't give this kind of work to those people. Okay, failure to delegate. External time wasters, visitors who are coming to your company, wasting your time, meetings, unnecessary meetings, papers and correspondence. Okay, if you want to communicate something, you can say it very directly or over phone. What they'll do, they'll write it in a mail. Okay, and it is not necessary also, but still they are writing in a mail. They'll be choose a different medium. Okay, and telephone. Okay, talking to people. For one thing, mobile phone is a very big dangerous thing which is happening now because of this COVID-19. Also, people are started using their mobile phone technologically. They are addicted, really, right? In a day, like more than 3 hours they are using their mobile phone. Okay, they keep on every few minutes, they keep on checking their WhatsApp, their Facebook, their message. We are getting dangerously addicted and we are wasting our time. Actually, the Facebook and all, see, Facebook is a social media that you have to use it for your learning, for your learning thing. You have to create Facebook as a learning atmosphere. Instead of that, what they'll do, they'll be wasting their time. Okay, reading unnecessary things. Okay, even in the WhatsApp also. Then telephone procedures and system, traveling is also external time wasters, and subordinates also sometimes. Okay, so these are the external time wasters. So other time wasters, when we talk, like lack of clarity on objective sometimes. So they are not understanding what the management objective, what the objective is framed by the management top level people. Shifting priorities, unrealistic time estimates. So when we talk about this process, lack of clarity about job requirements, what really required, okay, for my job. So if I'm not clarified on that, again it is a waste of time. Poor crisis management, inability to concentrate, ineffective delegations, all these things are other thing. Okay, then 3 laws of time and effort management when we talk. First one is the law of planning time, doing right work at right time. Very simple. The law for applying effort, searching right opportunity and utilizing. Again, this also, if you're running a company, right opportunity is coming, grab it and utilizing it. The law for investing talent, utilization of talent. Okay, how you're utilizing the resources, effective utilization of resources, we have used to read. Okay, we used to learn of all those things. Okay, in the first semester, right? Work measurement with relevance to time dimensions. When we talk about this, steps towards successful work measurement, organizing the work area. So under that, thoroughly inform executives and employees of the objectives, what really your department objectives framing based on your organization objective, that have to be thoroughly communicate with the same feel to your executors, to your subordinates, to your employees. Then review and analyze their operations, develop and discuss work simplifications. So how you can work simply without any hurdles, without any like prolonging, how you can do it. You just tell them, explain them, show a demo to them, right? Instruct the employee and install the improved methods. Okay, so like you just tell the employee, you just show the which is the easiest way, which is the smartest way to complete the task, which method is a good way to complete the task very soon. Compile and code the operation list. To compile everything, right? You have to, like, whatever the operations, you have to do it, you have to compile it, you have to code it for each and every operations, for each and every work you have to code it and give it to them. Then it is very easy for them. Oh, these are the work we have to do it. Oh, these are the way you have to do it. Oh, these are the based on this order you have to do it. Everything they'll be understanding it. Okay, Install activity attendance reporting. Again, you have to check it out. Then report and counsel management of the problem areas, plan and improve performances. Okay, so that is there. If you have to identify if any problem is arising in your department, that you have to identify, and counseling you have to do a reporting, right? And improve and control operational activities. All the operational activities you have to improve, and also you have to control in all the stages. That is very important. Then benefits of work measurement process. So reduce effort and fatigue, improved workstations, workload distributions, redistributions because of imbalance, unimportance, or work below the employee skills, job stability, performance recognitions. Okay, so these are the benefits you will be getting it. Delegation and time management. When we talk about the delegation, you all know what is meaning for delegation. Okay, so delegation is simply you are assigning a work along with the power and authority to the person, right? So suggest the following items when we matters that keep repeating themselves. See who are the people to whom you have to delegate of all those things. Okay, matters that keep repeating themselves, minor decisions most frequently made, parts of the job the superior is least qualified to handle, parts of the job that make superior over specialized. So these things you have to identify it and you have to delegate accordingly, right? The reason why you should not delegate to those people, suppose people are, some subordinates are lack of confidence, some subordinates are lack in self-confidence, poor definition of duties, and aversion to risk taking, very fear, and they won't take risk at all in their life. That kind of a behavior, that kind of a person, if you delegate, work won't happen, right? Fear of subordinates as competitor and inflated self-image people. So if these people are there, try to avoid delegation, okay, to these people, right? Certain tips to a manager's on-time management. See, so if you want to manage your time, some of the tips for the managers we have to follow it. Start your day without a plan of action. Get out of balance in your life. Work with a messy desk or a work area. Don't get enough sleep. Don't take lunch break. Okay, so like these things, okay, you have to be keep it in your mind. So if you do so, okay, start your day without a plan of action. Get out of balance in your life. Work with messy desk or work area. All these things all will kill your time. Okay, that is, they don't get, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not taking a lunch break. Okay, all these things are emotional imbalance. It will lead you to emotional imbalance. It will lead you to, you feel very stress in your working environment. So that is it. And also you cannot able to manage your time, you cannot able to complete your task on time. Okay, so by this I am closing the session. Okay, the time management, today we have seen role dimension and time management dimension. Okay, in the next class we'll be seeing effective behavior and ineffective behavior. Thank you all.